Ooh, I want to record in the cloud. I forgot it. I'm recording from my new laptop, and I couldn't verify my identity to enter on YouTube because they want to send a text message to my Brazilian number. So this modern world is a pain. You cannot talk with anybody, only with machines.
Did you get to the embassy?
No, I didn't. I got some paperwork coming from Brazil with FedEx. I hope it's going to arrive before my new date. I bought a ticket for Sunday, but
Oh,
by the time I bought a ticket with the possibility to change the date later on if it's necessary.
I hope it goes smoothly.
Let's hope, yeah. I mean, there is a big fashion here. People are being deported right and left. So I can make a scene there and say, hey, deport me to Brazil, deport me to Brazil.
Thank you for that. That's the first laugh I've had about this situation.
Okie dokie. Let's go here. We touched this nice conversation about the nature of Maya, the nature of creation. Yeah? And this word creation is not the best word to describe uh, this this world we experience. Huh? So in Vedanta, we prefer the word manifestation. And as we know, everything that manifests as an appearance order in which everything is in a flux of appearance, continuous change, decay, and disappearance. Appear and disappears. In between, it goes changing and the decaying. It evolves and then evolves and disappears. It's destroyed, created and destroyed. And that gave us a new clarity, a fresher and more clear view or understanding of the concept of kalam, time. So time is built into creation, into manifestation, because everything here is changing, and the ultimate change is the disappearance of all namarupas. They appear and disappear. And then, of course, from standpoint of us jivas, that gives us a sense of time. So therefore, time is built into the creation. Also, from another point of view, very, very beautiful. It's more profound, it's due to the law of conservation of energy. Nothing is created, nothing is really destroyed. So it means to say that everything here appears, disappears only to appear again, because nothing is destroyed. It's just changed from the visible to the invisible, to the tangible, to the more subtle, or to the very subtle. The more subtle is consciousness, as we know. But it's a cycle from the causal manifestation to the physical material manifestation. So this by itself is already a measurement of time that, according to the scriptures, is a sort of a cycle that goes through, it takes billions of years or whatever, but still it's a limitation of time. Time bounds everything to disappear at a certain point. So the nature of this manifestation is time in that sense, because everything is bound by time. And how so? And in a very interesting way, because it's cyclical. It's not a linear measurement of time, but it comes from the unmanifest to become manifest, to return back to the unmanifest. And this cyclical appearance and disappearance we have seen in the past class, we experience in our human experience every day when we go to bed and we fall asleep. So our private worlds, they disappear. They are resolved back, or they are suppressed, or they remain latent, in the potential form. So, and then it appears again in the waking state. I mean, we have the dream world, which is just to give us an indication that any duality is not real, because it is a byproduct of certain mental condition. The body of our vasanas projects this, and that gives us also the clear understanding that Maya Shwara, they project it using the totality of all vasanas, of all living creatures. So in the entire load of vasana of all living creatures shapes the universe again and again, because Ishwara Maya keeps shaping it according to the vasana load now, and the karma. And when it comes to Pralaya, the profound night of Ishwara or Maya, and then it appears that everything disappears, but everything is retained in that suppressed potential condition, and everything comes back exactly from the point where it all went to sleep. No? So all of that gave us a much more clear understanding of the nature of Kalam, and why Kalam is said to be another name for Maya, and that which divorces everything, because nothing that creates remains forever, because it goes from the physical material to the energy level, Matter, energy are the same thing. You cannot create matter. It's a constant flux of a conversion. From matter goes to energy, from energy comes back to matter. And then when we see the physical material universe, we have a clear understanding that there is time. And how to understand the time is integral part of this manifestation. Because it comes from the potential energy level, or sattva guna level, Ishwara level. It comes from there, and it was bound by time in that deep sleep of Maya, and then when it manifests as the Vyavaharika, it's again bound by time. Everything is bound by time. Everything that is experienced is bound by time. Therefore, time is an integral part of matter. That is very beautiful. Matter cannot be separated from the concept of time. Without time, you cannot conceive matter, and vice versa. Okay, let's go back. Therefore, Krishna beautifully says, from unmanifest condition, all manifest things come back, and it's all in due time, upon time. It's all upon by time. Again, it acts upon time from the manifest to go back to the unmanifest condition. That's what we have seen. And then last thing we have seen is the introduction to the verse 19, I believe. Huh? Page 1579 on the arrival. Am I right? Am I properly located in the text? Okay. On the arrival of the night of Brahman, that very same multitude of beings merged, having emerged again and again. On the arrival of the day of Brahman, it emerged again helplessly, O Arjuna. Sorry, it's Brahma, it's not Brahman. Brahman is not subject to arrival and departure, as we know, but Brahmaji, Vishwara, is subject to arrival and departure. It's our eternal principle. We say that it arrives and departure, but the same way we say that matter is eternal principle, Jiva is eternal principle, Brahmaji is eternal principle, sometimes manifest, sometimes unmanifest, retained in the potential latent condition. So on the arrival of the night of Brahmaji, all the multitude of beings and things merge or resolves back, having emerged again and again. So it's a cycle. And the arrival of the day of Brahmaji, it emerges back into manifestation, or Arjuna. Nothing to be concerned, as we have seen in the chapter 2, that verse that Lynn quickly picked up for us. Therefore, no need to, what was the expression used by?
I think it was why grieve?
Yeah, no need to grieve by anything. Nothing is created, nothing is destroyed. Your family members are not going to be destroyed, and all is good. They come back because energy and matter, they're the same thing. So the universe goes to unmanifest condition. Again, they come back to unmanifest condition. What will happen to all jivas? Krishna says the individual will also have the same destiny. Yeah, the entire Jagata, no? Everything. Jagata is made up of Ishvara, Jiva, and Jagata. Jagata is the existing material aspect of the cosmos. And Jivas are the existence, a sentient aspect of certain configurations, let's say. Yeah. So Krishna says the individual will also have the same destiny, disappear just to come back again. They also will go to unmanifest condition in which all the jivas will remain potentially inactive, dormant, like the hibernation. This is very nice. He gives an example of some animals that go into hibernation and they don't die. And we all go to a kind of hibernation. And after remaining in that latent potential for how many yugas, all jivas will emerge back. And just as we wake up in the morning, another day. So we come back from many Katra yugas just to have another round. So how will it be? What will be the experience like during this profound deep sleep? Suppose you want to know how you remain. What is going to be our experience during that pralayam, and how we'll come back? Some of us will come back crying, saying not again. Some are going to come back full of excitement. So we don't know, but the most difficult thing is to say, what is my experience in the unmanifest? And Lynn, who used to put it very often? Nisargadatta Maharaj. He used to put it like that. So you want to know the truth, the absolute? So just go there and find out what is your condition in the unmanifest. So see what you were there, what you experienced in the unmanifest. Suppose you want to know how will remain, what is your experience during pralayam, and so on. Bhagwan has given us a hint. A simulation, I hear say stimulated experience. Like the astronauts has on Earth, they have to undergo training and so on. I think the word here is simulated, but in the transcription they said simulate. So the same way Bhagwan wants to give a taste of pralayam to all of us during our deep sleep. So what happens to the individual? The ego disappears. Isn't it amazing that we feel so good when the ego is suppressed? Well, the ego is a source of trouble, huh? With our notions and ideas, beliefs, likes and dislikes, hmm, and desires, expectations. So our ego's result, our knowledge and our ignorance, our happiness, unhappiness, pleasure and pain, likes and dislikes, everything disappears. It just gets in a different suppressed condition, which is called the unmanifest, dormant. And then Swami says, be very careful. The dormant, unmanifest condition does not mean that it was all destroyed. Okay, it's there in a different state, in a different condition. How do you know that they are dormant but not destroyed? English knowledge or Gita 8th chapter knowledge. I will come to my condition. Suppose in tonight's sleep, all the 8th chapter knowledge was destroyed. Yes, very simple example. I forgot everything. So it was not only put to sleep that knowledge, temporarily dormant, but it comes back upon awaking. So I have to again start with the same topic in the next day, remembering the teachings. So during sleep, your knowledge is not destroyed the same way. Your vasana load is not destroyed during pralaya. So what is the experience we have in deep sleep? It feels good. Gives an indication that to the period of time in which we go through this dormant condition called pralaya, long period of time in our human scale of time. So it must feel good, you know. The ego is not there. There is only consciousness, and there is a very very subtle, extremely subtle vritti, which is all the material deposited in the causal body of all jivas. It's there, but somehow is subconscious. And as we know, ignorance is bliss. All the jivas raise again, goes potential condition, again come back to the next projection, the next manifestation, shrishti or state. Therefore, Krishna says, the same multitude of jivas, the same group of jivas, the same set of jivas will again surface. And Krishna keeps repeating this concept, and it says that it is eternal. So when we contemplate the concept of eternity, eternity is only possible if it is beginningless, anadi. Yeah? So if you say that is eternal, but it began on a certain time, okay, and then it cannot be eternal because eternal is something that has always existed. And then what was the condition of the cosmos and of God and the creation before the origination? It was non-existent. No, we know that there is no such a thing as non-existent. There is no philosophy more convincing, intellectually convincing than this Upanishads that explains that which exists at all times. Therefore, the eternal Ishvara, the eternal Jiva, the eternal Jagata, yeah? Sometimes unmanifest, some other times manifest. The same way as likewise our our vasana load that somehow disappears just to come back in the morning. Or some people wake up in the night. Oh, meu Deus. Oh, my God. I mean, all my concern, and now I have one more concern. I'm not sleeping well. Okay, now this will create immediately a doubt in a question answer session. This is asked. What is asked? No? So no new jiva is created. This is a very interesting approach or doubt or question, you know. And I haven't got the time to read much more of the text today, and I don't quite remember, but it's a great opportunity for us to look into some of these doubts that are presented. Also, if all souls are eternal, you know, and how can you explain the demographic explosion, you know? I mean, so if it's all the same set of jivas, how you explain now 8+ billion people on our planet, you know? And then you have to consider, oh no, it doesn't matter, you know, there are so many other planets. They just change the planet to have a different experience. There are many ways we can go about that, but I want to remember what Swamiji says about this doubt. You know, the same jivas, sets of jivas are circulating. Like thermostat, there is a jivostat which will keep all the jivas eternally existing. You know, from the causal potential. Okay, I jumped here. The same multitude, the same group of jivas, mm, the same multitude and the same set again and again. It's eternal process. Again, for lion, we go back to potential condition. That means what? No new jiva is created. That's the key point here. No new jiva is created. Ah, no, I'm a new soul. Really? Yeah. I was freshly out of the ova. So this is my first incarnation. And here it says that no new jivas are created. Yeah? So the same set of jivas are always there uh, presented, you know, going from birth to birth, and sometimes human birth, sometimes cockroach birth, and so on. There is a jivostat, and this is the doubt created, you know, that Swami is going to address now. No, if no fresh jivas are created, how do we explain this population explosion? Because new jivas are coming to this planet all time, every time. So for that, we should remember whenever we are talking about the number of jivas or increasing population, we are talking into account only human jivas. But remember, oh yeah, now I remember the logic. There is a multitude of jivas, all kinds of living creatures that they go through different births, you know. Sometimes like alligators, like the alligators here from Orlando. Sometimes they go to cockroaches and birds and other things. And sometimes they are born as human beings, which are said to be the most blessed opportunity. Huh? So remember, there are many other jivas, and other jivas somehow they have some karma account, some punya, you know, through the animal cycles that concedes them an opportunity as a human being. Yeah? I say, oh, and then it's my first birth as a human being. Not necessarily. You may have been a human being for a long time, and then you gave it up. You did not want to learn, and then Ishwara said, okay, you have to remain as an animal. And it includes all human beings, all the insects, all the germs, and so on.
Arlindo,
Huh?
I was thinking about this beautiful example in a different way, because when you say, bringing it back to your discussion on time earlier, if you say, how do you explain a population explosion? That is a change through time, right? So if, on the other hand, time is divisionless, you know, then the whole foundation for that problem disappears.
Okay, now I remember you touched the subject yesterday, and I forgot to begin the class from that, which is can you remind me of that concept?
Um, that
Visionless. Time is something visionless.
is in part of change, but the swarupa of time is changeless. It's
Well,
like the time being close in this example to the absolute versus the manifestation.
we will we'll sit down in this class today
Yeah.
that we are talking about these levels of manifest and manifest, and then Swami is going to point out to the fact that there is something which is beyond manifest and unmanifest, which is the true nature of Ishvara Jiva Jagat, which is beyond time and space. But I would like to understand better what you meant by divisionless, time as divisionless.
Well, it's that it's not the foundation of what we look at as time is a non-changing.
Okay, yeah, the true nature, the Svarupan of time, space, Ishvara, Jiva Jagat, is just changeless consciousness.
Yeah. And this population is just, it's not from the viewpoint of Ishvara, it's from the viewpoint of the Jiva.
Yeah. So this you are doing a jump because the text here is not resolving everything in Brahman. It's still playing within the manifest and manifest. It's below the line of.
Okay, we're just talking there.
Yeah. So, but ultimately, everything is resolved in Brahman as consciousness, which is beyond time and beyond space. So, what's the nature of matter? Is consciousness. What is the true nature of time? Is consciousness. You know, everything is fundamentally resolved in consciousness as consciousness, but it has a intermediary resolution, which is the resolution from the fully manifest to the potentially manifest or unmanifest, right?
Right. So is Videha Mukti when even that causal body, those vasanas that are sitting there causally, that they resolve?
Well, this concept of Videha Mukta it does not have much practical or experiential element. Only the concept of Jiva Mukta, because one is still anchored, let's say, to a physical instrument of interaction, you know. So Vidya Mukta is supposedly someone who is no longer coming back. Yeah?
Right.
It's no longer coming back. What happened to the one's Vasana load is somehow it was destroyed, so it dissolved. Yeah? And we have touched this subject a few times. And why you brought the Videha Mukta into this conversation now? Can you remind me?
Oh, I was just thinking the whole time we've been on this topic, I've just been thinking about, I think it was Swami Paramartananda. It says that Maya makes the impossible possible.
Mm.
It's just a kind of a miraculous kind of thing. So that just made me think, and we've been talking about pralaya, in which the causal body remains.
Yeah.
And so I just intellectually asked the question, how does that get resolved in that?
Yeah.
That
all jivas and Jagata and even Ishvara goes from the manifest to unmanifest. And then the Jiva Atman, in its process of spiritual elevation, it may still subject to a return because the resolution of the Vasana load of this individual soul was not a resolution all the way down to Brahman as conscious existence. It was a resolution to the causal body which experiences a certain superior loka, which is subject to Kalan. because it expires. So the concept of Vidyahamukta is the one who went through this revolution all the way to consciousness. So it
Mhm.
did not stop into the Vasana load, is extremely purified, uh,
Mm.
conditioned by a lot of wisdom and sattva guna and having a lot of punya at one's disposal. No, this is a kind of resolution that dissolves the individual soul. Dissolves the individual soul. We can conceptualize this because we don't have any parallels except the deep sleep. But deep sleep is more a parallel of the resolution from the physical to the deep sleep, which is the suppressed or the unmanifest, vasana load of the individual. But we don't have any parallel in terms of experience of this resolution, into consciousness in which the vasana load of the individual is no longer present, and the individual does not no longer experience any sort of duality. So this is something that sometimes it scares some people, because most people is attracted to duality. They want better dualities, but they don't like to go into non-duality. But that's why I say it's Videha Mukta is a very philosophical concept, which points to the fact that the individual no longer is going to have any experience. You understand? As an individual soul, and as Brahma is not an experienced entity, and the scriptures say it again and again and again. So no more experience. Who wants to live without experience? Oh, Jesus is not living anymore.
That is the ultimate it is the goal of the mumukshutva, right? So yeah, and to face up to that, oh no, is
Yeah,
an important step.
and there are a lot of different spiritual circle that refers to this panic and fear when you are confronted to enlightenment. Because, oh no, I'm not ready yet. I thought I was ready. Because it is the solution of the sense of individuality. We can have an experiential element as Jivan Mukta, no? As self-realized person, that you are still an experienced entity, because you still have an experiencing instrument of experiencing. But you understood that your true nature is beyond duality, beyond time, beyond space, beyond experience. But how about not having any instrument of experience? There was a time I used to calm people down. I would say, doesn't matter why you want to be so obsessed with this, my instrument of experience, my body, mind, if there are all kinds, there are numberless instruments of experience all over the cosmos. So why not to enjoy that? No, because then it's no longer me. It's no longer the individual soul. The problem here, the best word to point to this is individual soul, individuality. We like to be an individual soul. Individual soul is I and mine, ahamkara mamakara, my body, my mind, my notions, my concept, my knowledge, my ignorance. And the process by which we purify is a process of letting go or purifying this sense of ahamkara mamakara,
Like the ultimate vyavakara. I mean, the ultimate, what is dispassion?
yeah, the ultimate dispassion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just it's minimizing this sense of I'm the doer and experience, my body, my mind, my actions, my results. It goes through a process of diminishing. It comes up here and there, but it goes diminish. This is a tangible thing. But this is something yet you have an instrument at your disposal. But through this instrument, you feel strange because there is no longer that strong sense of I and mine. You understand, and the attachment to the body mind and attachment to my likes. You understand, and just like when that starts disappearing, or loosening up, let's say, and it seems to be an endless process. Uh, but just imagine you lose this instrument and then you go up there and the Ishwara say, it's good enough. I think this potato of yours was fully cooked somehow. It's close to fully cooked. I'm not going to send you back to the oven down there. I, the individual, they say, okay, and then what about me? No, there is no me anymore. There is only I, Brahman. I, the water of the ocean. I, the water of all waves. So we have no parallel to Sagada Maharaj used to say, you can go there and see what was the condition, before you were birth, before, manifestation. So what was that condition? So my take is that he was referring to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But Nirvikalpa Samadhi yet is a sort of duality. So good talks. I enjoy it. Let's go back here. If no fresh jivas are created, so how you explain this population explosion? There are all kinds of jivas, the insect life and so on, germs, and if it's not enough, all species of living creatures on this planet, we have living creatures on several other lokas. How about that? Huh? We have the lokas of the devas, the lokas of the asuras, they are all jivas. Jivas without a physical body, such as the ones we have here, they exhaust in punya papam, but they are jivas, no? And sometimes they exhaust punya papa to the extent that they have to come back to full manifestation in this realm, vyavaharik, and then it seems that we are getting more population demographic explosion. This is another logic to pacify the human intellect, for example. No? And he says that the total number of jivas will be the same. This is quite an statement. The eternal jiva, there are a number of jivas, it's the same. It manifests as living creatures, okay? Living configurations of the gunas of Maya, they are the same. Okay, so they are the same, but sometimes they appear on different body forms, species, no? The distribution of the jivas through species, will vary. So that's why Swami Shimayananda used to tell a nice joke whenever this question would come up. Please assume that plant and forests were there. Therefore, the wild animals were living there. All the forest was destroyed by industrial revolution, and the wild animals were hunted by people like Virapan. What is Virapan? Animals and Virapan, different beings, no?
I think he was a great Puranic hunter.
A hunter? Okay. So the forests are there. In modern time, the forests are being destroyed because we don't have environmental protection in our governments. The politics were destroyed with the lobbies. And then they just open up to a situation such as we have now, that even now it's clearly stated that the richest person in the world, which is Elon Musk, goes there and he's the prime minister and he says, you're going to do what I say, because otherwise I will destroy you. So politics is over, environmental protection is not there, our forest may go destroyed, and then how about these billions of living creatures living in this forest, So they have to come back, but there are no forests for them anymore, Lynn. So they have to come back somehow. And therefore they got converted into human beings. Nice story, no? Nice story. They couldn't be converted to other species because the environment was not there. But animal, human, cockroach. I think maybe that's why cockroach is much larger population than human beings, because a lot of those animals seeing that there is no environment anymore, and then they say, I will be reborn as cockroach, because it said the cockroach can live, survive, and grow in any environment. Even a destroyed environment, cockroaches will do fine. Huh? So that's why we have got pulses and lions. Both have to be told equally. I'm just joking, say Swamiji. Do not take seriously. Some people born with a temperament of a lion and so on, because some lions were converted into Arjunas here and there, warriors. Uh, Scorpions and cobras are turned into human bodies. Everything has come from humans' mistake in destroying the environment of all these human beings, of these living beings. There is some profound concepts there. It's a bit speculative, but it has some logic, some structural logic there. If we destroy the environment for all living creatures, these living creatures come back as cockroaches, rats, and human beings. And then we have overpopulation of those species. Or to make a point that the vivas are all the same, nothing is created, and that also goes back, it's tied up with the concept, nothing is created, nothing is destroyed, it's just changed, convert. And the living beings are there, nothing new can be created because the law of conservation says so. Nothing can be destroyed, but they appear sometimes as liquid water, some steam, some vapor, and some, you know, so it's just different conditions of the same living creature. Therefore, number of jivas are the same, says our scriptures. It seems the new jivas cannot be created, because if a new jiva has to be created, what time of body will be given to this jiva? Very more logic to sustain this statement. If it's okay, I'm gonna create a new jiva. I say, okay, you're gonna put it as as a cockroach or as a beautiful Ramana Maharaj. So no, I'm sorry that it has no vasana load, and then Ishvara would have to be just make arbitrary decision to say, no, I'm gonna give it a mid class human jiva. So no, it does not work. Everything is due to karma, past karma, punya papa. So Bhagwan will have a confusion, and it's not going to be able to produce a new jiva. So Bhagwan has got a norm to determine the body for myself and for every one of us. I have happily existed in the previous creation or origination or projection or manifestation. Therefore, based on what Bhagwan can give Manusha, Shariram, or subtle body, or what is Pasu Shariram?
I think this means the human body or an animal body.
Okay, human body, and yeah. But when a fresh jiva is created, since past karmas, in this case, having no past karmas, no new jiva can be created. Beautiful logic. So new jivas are not a possibility. So what will be the base on which a new body is detected? It's your karma, as we know, your merits and the merit, the quality of your punya papa. You cannot say God will have a lot and then give somebody. Will take a lot and then give somebody. What he's saying here. No, remember, the body is not determined by Bhagwan's wish. You cannot say Bhagwan will take a lot and then give somebody. What is this phrase pointing to? We are talking about which body Bhagwan will give to these people. There is no base because there is no karma detected. You cannot say Bhagwan will take a lot and then give the bodies to this lot. No, remember, the body is not determined by Bhagwan's wish or will. The body is determined by our purva karma. A fresh jiva will never have purva karma. I forgot this expression, purva karma. Refresh my mind, please.
I think that's the karma from previous lives.
Yeah, purva from past lives. So. Yeah, exactly. The jiva will never have a purva karma. Therefore, it's not possible for Bhagwan to create any new jiva. Okay, beautiful. Then will come another natural question. If a fresh jiva cannot be created because of absence of purva karma, then what will be the next question? Dun, 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 say Swamiji, always doing some suspense here and there to make his class very interesting. When we were created first, what was the basis? Yeah? What was the base of the first creation? When we first creation, when Bhagwan always creates or projects or manifests everything. Okay, I understood. The fresh jiva cannot be created because purva karma was not there. Do you understand the question? Or else you will not understand the answer. Fresh jivas cannot be created as purva karma is not there. We are now created because of our purva karma. So what was the original purva karma? You know? And then we have to go back to the beginningless anadi concept of this creation and the cyclical nature from the unmanifest to the manifest, all within the realm of an apparent reality, which not absolutely real. The question is when we were first created, so we know there is no beginning of creation manifestation. Therefore, what was the original vasana load? What was the original purva karma of humanity? We were never created first. All jivas are beginningless. Ishwara is beginningless, Jagata is beginningless, as well jivas are beginningless. That's why in Vani Avita Sankalpam, we start with, therefore, the set of jivas are anadi. It's beautiful. The set of jivas are nadi, and fresh set of jivas are not created at all. Therefore, the same jivas goes through manifest and unmanifest condition. And therefore, Krishna says, Sa Eva means the same set of jiva. This is, I don't know about you, but I never stopped learning and developing more and more appreciation to the beauty of these scriptures, It's unbelievable. The more you dig, you merge, you dive into these teachings, the more, appreciation, because the better is your understanding, the greater is your wonder about how beautiful, how precise, how elegant, and based on great logic, which is not philosophy. So when they all do get resolved, it's a cyclic go-round process. So if it is a cyclic go-round process, there is no question in the beginning. Why can't we call it merry-go-round as if in some trade fair? So that is very nice. So that can be called merry-go-round because I can choose to get out of I forgot the name of that in English. But it's going around like this, it's going around like that, and round, but I can also jump out. And that takes us to another analogy in regards to Jivatma. Recognize its true nature as beyond time consciousness. It's almost like jumping out of this merry-go-round samsara. It does not stop for you. You have to jump out. I can choose. I can choose to get in. I can choose to get out. But this cycle, I'm helpless about jumping out of it. It's from the unmanifest to manifest every day and night, and then the end of a birth brings about a rebirth, and it keeps going round and round, beginninglessly and almost endlessly. So, but Swami often says, and our gurus often, sometimes here and there, he points out to something that a lot of people do not enjoy listening. Instead of being called merry-go-round, it should be called sorry-go-round. And therefore, Krishna says, helplessly, Arjuna, helplessly. Why? Because people do help, stop this go-round process, I don't find it's merry-go-round. I find it a source of sorry. Therefore, Krishna used this word avasaha, means helplessly, against our will. We don't have any willpower. We have a certain willpower to make an effort to process purification, refinement, spiritual elevation. Hope that one day we'll be freed from this sorry go round. I find I am here, and whether I like it or not, I am helpless. I will die. Therefore, again, the jiva is born. Just mortality cannot be avoided as long as you choose. You are playing with time-bound limit actions, which are going to produce limited results, or time-bound actions or defect actions that will produce time-bound results. There's no way. So there is only a certain knowledge, understanding that allows you to jump out of the merry-go-round without taking any physical action. So it's the jump out is just a cognitive jump from the identification as the body-mind sense complex totally subject to time, effect, and the laws of karma. You jump to the understanding of your true nature as free, beyond time and space, limitless conscious existence. Okay, verse 20. However, beyond that unmanifest, there is another unmanifest being which is eternal. It does not perish when all beings perish. That is the verse that Swami jumps out of the cycle, causal, subtle, and material universe, from the unmanifest to manifest. He goes to the unmanifest. He called this, there is an unmanifest being or unmanifest principle, unmanifest entity. That any name is going to be problematic. So beyond this unmanifest reality, but it still was not destroyed because it exists as extremely subtle energy. Beyond this causal, which is more subtle than the subtle realm, beyond this order of latent universe in which all jivas are present, beyond that, there is another unmanifest, which is better said to be, there is something beyond manifest and unmanifest, okay, which is the true eternal being, the true eternal principle, which is not subject to perishing when all beings perish. So beautiful, huh? All beings are perishing, and when there is something we see our reach, because it's our true intrinsic nature that's not subject to perishing. You know, so it's very important for us to understand the implications of these statements. My intrinsic true nature is not subject to time, it will never perish. I will see everything perishing, yeah, in front of me for as long as I have a proper a functioning instrument of perception and inference. But I have recognized my true nature as that which is not perishable. You know? I can witness everything perishing, but I remain as consciousness, the unperishable principle. So Krishna before was talking about finite results, such as from the manifest, living in this Vyavaharika, developing punya papa, developing merits, purifying my vasanas through the association and devotion towards the Creator, understanding the nature, understanding this spiritual wisdom revealed by the Creator. So by doing that, I get some beautiful results. I can go to the unmanifest during the pralaya. I'm gonna have a very beautiful, restful sleep. Before that, I may be resting in one of the celestial lotus, enjoying duality in a very pleasurable manner, as they say. But all of that is finite because it's still under time and space. Okay, it's still under the field of matter. Matter and time, they were present as synonymous. So it's matter, it's subtle matter. Subtle matter goes all the way to the subtle locus and goes all the way to the causal matter, causal universe, or causal matter, causal condition of the universe. So any result which falls within matter is limited, it's time bound, therefore it will have two conditions. It will go from the unmanifest to the manifest, and it goes on and on and on. It is the samsara trap. Seen from the macro level, the samsara is an endless cycle of almost endless lives, deaths, and rebirths. This is the proper definition of samsara. From the unmanifest to manifest in Sanskrit is called manifest matter and unmanifest matter. Okay, so matter is manifest. Matter is the potential form in the subtle realm, but matter can go all the way to be unmanifest matter, which can be called super subtle energy. Energy becomes matter, matter becomes energy, and again, energy becomes matter. Super subtle energies, they come all the way, become energies, and dense matter. Again, Krishna said there is one more goal that we have not discussed so far in this verse. A human being can achieve that which is beyond the three realms, the three worlds, causal, subtle, and physical material, Vyavaharika. So you need to do some actions to reach that, but the actions will serve only the purpose of preparing you for our final teachings, which do not involve any verbal or physical actions, but profound contemplation in the light of the final declarations of the Upanishads of our true nature as the beyond the manifest and the unmanifest. Okay, here he talks about Krishna said there is another goal beyond all of this. Both this means what? The manifest matter and the unmanifest. There is another goal which is realize your true nature beyond both of these, both all pairs of duality. And this prapancha, karana, prapancha is also another name given to Maya. Okay, the world is resolved back into time. Time, I said in our last class, is another name for Maya. Okay, it is that which contains the entire universe. All matter is contained, and all matter is still subject to time, temporality. Temporarily is going to become suppressed, as in a profound, deep sleep, just to come back again. But everything is in a flux of change, in a flux of time. Therefore, the world becomes Maya, Maya becomes the world, everything is matter, energies are matter, different frequency of vibration, both of them exist within time. Krishna says there is another thing which is beyond all of this. Krishna calls, here the Krishna calls, interestingly enough, the unmanifest too, just to satisfy the notions such as the one of Nisargadatta Maharaj. Go to the unmanifest. And he was not referring to the causal condition of the mind or the causal condition of the universe. He was meaning to say, go to the unmanifest, which is beyond manifest and unmanifest. I don't know. From what I learned from him, he was referring to sort of deep sleep or pralayam or nirvikalpa samadhi. But here, Krishna refers to that as the unmanifest number two, which it's okay. But I don't like this concept, Ishvara 1, Ishvara 2, manifest, unmanifest 1, unmanifest 2. So it's just, there is something which is beyond all pair of complementary opposites. It is beyond manifest, and unmanifest is the ground, the substratum on which all pairs of opposites are superimposed. Manifest matter, unmanifest matter, and unmanifest matter number two. No, you cannot call consciousness unmanifest matter. We'll call unmanifest number one and unmanifest number two. Okay. But that is consciousness, that which is beyond all complementary pairs of opposites. Okay. This consciousness is the true witnessing principle, witnessing the unmanifest condition of matter, as well as the fully manifest condition of matter, that is consciousness. And that witness consciousness does not fall within manifest and unmanifest. It's never seen, it's not within the witness field, of consciousness itself, because it's the ultimate seer, it's the ultimate subject. The observer is different from anything and beyond anything observed. The knower is beyond anything known, and beyond the knower, the jiva knower. This is all very beautiful, very profound. And okay. Okay, doc. Let me say, we meet on Friday, and since I'm having a lot of free time here, I'm available to do another class for tomorrow or Thursday if you guys wish or have time for. You just let me know in our WhatsApp group, okay? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishate Om Shanti 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 Om. Okie dokie.
Arlene.
Namaste. Thank you. We meet soon again.
Great
Thank
satsang.
you.
Thank you, Arvindo.
Thank you.
Okay, bye now.
Bye bye.